This was our hike at Doe Mountain in Sedona, Arizona. We had hoped to find a bit of an easier hike. This was a little later in the day when we started. And Doe Mountain struck me as being one of those trails that when people come to Sedona, they want to hike it because it's not that hard. Turned out to be a little more challenging than I expected in a few spots, and you'll see those in a moment. It has about a 500-foot elevation, a bit deceptive because you're constantly zigzagging on this trail, and the footing is not all that easy. You can see this part here. It gives you an example of what we were up against on many of our hikes. So Lorraine is trying to navigate a particularly steep area where the footing is not all that clear. Trail is certainly not marked. You kind of know where you need to get to, and you can see how she's really trying to find her way up this particular segment of the trail. I had maybe a slightly easier go of it because I wasn't holding a video camera as Lorraine is doing here, but she eventually found a way to get her footing and all good to go. And so we continued up the mountain. At this point, we're probably halfway up Doe Mountain. You can see Bear Mountain in the distance on the left side. Bear Mountain goes up about 6,000 feet or so. Doe Mountain is around 5,000 feet, so it's about a 1,000-foot difference between the two. This is by far a much easier hike than Bear Mountain, and it gives you some wonderful views once you get up to the top. There are two sort of steep areas to climb up. This last part, this is very close to the top now, is not that hard. It's a narrow chute, but really pretty straightforward to get your footing in and pull yourself up. It doesn't get you to the top. There's still one little bit of a rise to conquer. But this one we actually, we took our gloves and put them on our hands and, and sort of brought ourselves up the narrow chute. And you can see Lorraine navigating this without too much difficulty. Once you get up to the top of Doe Mountain, you have this large flat expanse. This particular evening, there was a fair amount of wind.
There you go.
And when you start navigating through the expanse, there's a trail marker that says this is the end of the trail, but you can wander around the top of this mesa, which we did. We took to one side, and when you get to that side, you'll be greeted with this incredible expanse. There's me taking a little break at the top of the mountain and saying, "Hey, Lorraine, let's do a panoramic view." And when you see the camera pan, it is a sharp drop from that edge, and you're up high. So it gives you a little bit of vertigo as you're walking along the edges. I'm not sure why, but there's this sense that, oh gosh, I could potentially fall off here. But man, the views are just incredible. We probably spent, I'm guessing maybe about a half hour at the top of Doe Mountain and just taking it all in. Just another amazing hike in Sedona.